The night unfurls like a velvet curtain, heavy and soft, draping itself over the world beyond your window. A sliver of moonlight spills through the glass, pale and tender, painting fragile silver threads across the floorboards. Outside, the wind hums a lullaby through the trees, its whispers brushing against the leaves like a mother soothing a restless child. The stillness is profound, almost alive, yet it carries a weight, doesn't it? A silence so vast it presses against your chest, louder than any cry you've ever let escape your lips. You lie there, eyes tracing the shadows on the ceiling, and wonder why the quiet feels like a mirror, reflecting back every ache you've tried so hard to bury. There are nights like this, nights when the world fades, and all that's left is you and the heaviness of your own heart. You've smiled today, haven't you? Laughed at the right moments, nodded through small talk, kept the mask in place. But now, in this sacred hush, the facade crumbles. Something's missing. Not a fleeting sadness, not a passing loneliness, but a deep, gnawing void, an emptiness no words can name. Is it the past, clawing at you with its jagged edges? Is it guilt, whispering that you'll never outrun what you've done? Or is it something more, a trembling fear that even the one who hung the stars has turned his gaze away from you? You're not alone in this. We've all felt it, that ache that settles in the marrow, the exhaustion that seeps into the soul. You scroll through life, thumb brushing against the glass of your phone, chasing distractions. You pour yourself into work, into routines, into the humdrum rhythm of survival. But at night, when the noise fades, the truth creeps in, your spirit is weary. You're not just tired from the day, you're tired from pretending. Tired of carrying burdens you don't know how to set down. Tired of reaching for something real, something unshakable, only to grasp at shadows. But let me tell you something you need to hear tonight. Right where you are. You're longing for a love that doesn't flinch at your flaws, a grace that doesn't demand you earn it. And that love? It's closer than you think. It's not found in shallow platitudes or empty promises, it's forged in the fire of a God who sees every fracture in your heart and chooses you anyway. Yes, you. Not the version you show the world, but the real you, the one who's stumbled, fallen, and wondered if the pieces can ever be put back together. Picture this: you're standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind tugging at your clothes, the ground crumbling beneath your feet. Below you stretches an abyss, dark, endless, swallowing every hope you've dared to cling to. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? Like you've slipped too far, like the mistakes you've made have built a wall too high to climb. You replay the moments, the words you can't take back, the choices that left scars, the nights you cried out and heard nothing but echoes. Shame wraps around you like a second skin, whispering that you're too broken, too flawed, too lost to be found, and the world doesn't help. It turns away when you falter, misjudges you when you're weak, labels you by your worst days. Maybe you've even turned away from yourself, given up on the person staring back in the mirror. But here's where the story shifts, where the shadows part. God doesn't see you the way the world does. He doesn't see you the way you see yourself. Where you see ruin, He sees a canvas. Where you see failure, He sees a beginning. Your brokenness doesn't scare Him, it beckons Him closer. Think about that for a moment. The God who spoke galaxies into being, who wove the threads of time and eternity, isn't repelled by your mess. He's drawn to it. Your pain, your doubts, your quiet cries in the dark, they're like a song to Him, a melody only He understands. You might feel like you've hit the bottom, like the weight of your life has crushed every ounce of light. But He's there, in the depths with you. He's not waiting for you to climb out, he's reaching down to lift you up. There's an enemy out there, prowling in the silence, and he's clever. He doesn't shout, he whispers. He tells you your past is your prison, that your worst moment is your identity. He points to every stumble, every regret, and says, "See? This is who you are. This is all you'll ever be." He wants you to believe you're disqualified, that God's love comes with a catch, a checklist you've failed to meet. And when the night grows still, those lies grow loud, don't they? They echo in the spaces where hope used to live, convincing you that grace is for everyone else, but not for you. But let's tear that lie apart right now. Your past isn't your ending, it's a chapter. A rough, messy, tear-stained chapter, maybe, but not the whole book. God's the author here, and he writes stories that defy the odds. He writes about prodigals staggering home to find a feast waiting. He writes about lost sheep carried back on steady shoulders. He writes about broken hearts stitched together with threads of mercy. You're not the sum of your failures, you're the object of his affection. Grace isn't a prize you win by being good enough. It's not a trophy for the flawless or a reward for the strong. It's a gift, wild, unearned, and poured out in abundance. And tonight, it's yours. Not tomorrow when you've fixed yourself, not next week when you've sorted out the chaos, but right now, in this fragile, fleeting moment. You don't have to deserve it, because you never could. That's the beauty of it. That's the scandal of it. God looks at you, with all your scars and secrets, and says, "Mine." So here you are, lying in the quiet, the moonlight tracing patterns on your walls. What if you stopped running? What if you stopped hiding? God's not asking for perfection, he's asking for you. Not the polished, put-together you, but the raw, unraveling you. The one who's tired of pretending, who's desperate for healing, who's ready to let go of the weight. He doesn't need you to clean up first, he's the one who washes, who restores, who makes whole. Imagine this, a potter at his will, hands steady and sure, shaping a cracked, crumbling vessel. The clay doesn't argue, it yields. And from the dust, something beautiful emerges. That's what God does with us. He takes what's shattered, what the world calls worthless, and breathes life into it. Graves become gardens. Ashes bloom into beauty. Mourning turns to a wild, untamed dance. You're not too far gone. Not tonight. Not ever. Don't rush past this, friend. Don't scroll through this night without letting these words sink in. Stay with me. Listen to the wind outside, feel the stillness around you, and hear this truth: you are seen. You are known. You are loved, not in spite of your brokenness, but because of it. God's grace is reaching for you now, ready to take root in the soil of your pain, ready to grow something new. And hey, don't skip to the end just yet. Stick around, watch this unfold, and let it settle in your soul. If these words are stirring something in you, drop a comment below, share your story, your heart, your hope. Subscribe to the channel for more moments like this, because you're not alone in this journey. Your comeback's already started, and I promise, there's a blessing waiting for you if you see it through. The moonlight lingers, doesn't it? A quiet companion in this stillness, slipping through the window like a friend who knows when words aren't needed. The wind outside keeps its gentle rhythm, rustling the leaves as if the earth itself is breathing a prayer over you. And here you are, cradled in the hush of night, your heart laid bare. It's a vulnerable place, this silence, a space where the walls you've built start to tremble, where the questions you've buried rise like smoke. Why does it hurt so much to be seen? Why does it feel safer to hide? And why, even now, does a part of you wonder if God's love could really stretch this far? To you, let's linger here for a moment, in this tender unraveling. You've carried so much, haven't you? Like a traveler with a pack too heavy for the journey, you've hauled your regrets, your fears, your what-ifs through every step of life. Each one feels like a stone, sharp-edged and cold, pressing into your shoulders until your knees buckle. You've tried to set them down, oh, how you've tried, but they cling like shadows, whispering that they're yours to bear forever. Maybe it's the memory of a choice you can't undo, a wound you didn't see coming, or a dream that slipped through your fingers like sand. Whatever it is, it's left you weary, hasn't it? Bone-deep weary, the kind that sleep alone can't mend, but what if I told you there's a hand reaching for that load? Not to judge it, not to tally its weight, but to lift it, gently, completely, without a word of reproach. Picture this, a shepherd trudging through the dusk, his robe dusted with the grit of the wild, searching for one lost lamb. The flock is safe, 99 strong, but his eyes are fixed on the one that wandered. The one caught in the thorns, trembling and alone. That's you, friend. That's me. We've all strayed, tangled ourselves in brambles of our own making, and convinced ourselves we're too far off the path to be found. But God? He's the shepherd who doesn't stop. He's the one who steps into the thicket, hands scarred and steady, and pulls you close, not because you earned it, but because you're His. Close your eyes for a second, can you feel it? That stirring, that whisper brushing against the edges of your soul. It's not the wind this time. It's Him. He's nearer than the air you're breathing, closer than the heartbeat thudding in your chest. You might not see Him in the chaos of the day, when the world's clamor drowns out everything else. But here, in the quiet, He's unmistakable. He's not perched on some distant throne, frowning down at your stumbles. He's right beside you, tracing every tear that's fallen, every sigh you've let slip into the dark. He knows the scars you hide, the ones etched not just on your skin, but on your spirit. And He doesn't flinch. That's the thing about God's love, it's not fragile. It doesn't shatter under the weight of your mess. It's fierce, unyielding, a force that storms the gates of your shame and tears them down. You might feel like a wreck, splinters and shards where a whole person used to be, but He sees something else. He sees the you He dreamed up before time began, the you He shaped with purpose, the you He's still chasing after. The world might write you off, people might turn away, but God, He draws near. He steps into the wreckage and says, "This is where I'll start." And oh, what a start it is. He's not in the business of patching things up with cheap fixes or flimsy promises. He's a restorer, a rebuilder, a maker of new things. Think of a garden pushing up through cracked earth, green shoots defying the dust, roots sinking deep where nothing should grow. That's what He does with you. Your pain, your broken places, your rock-bottom moments, they're not the end. They're the soil. The raw, messy, fertile ground where His grace takes hold and begins to bloom. So what's holding you back? What's keeping you from leaning into that grace tonight? Is it fear, that if you let go, you'll fall apart completely? Is it pride, telling you you've got to figure this out on your own? Or is it doubt, that nagging voice insisting you've drifted too far, that God's patience has run dry. Let's name it, whatever it is, and lay it down. Right here, right now, in this moonlit room where the silence feels like a sanctuary. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to know the answers or fix the cracks. God's not waiting for you to get your act straight, He's waiting for you to stop running. To stop striving. To stop clutching those stones and let them fall. Imagine it, your hands unclenching, the weight slipping away, the air rushing into your lungs like it's the first breath you've taken in years. That's surrender, not a defeat, but a release. A handing over of the pieces to the one who knows how to make them whole. He's not asking for much, just you. The real you, stripped of the masks and the excuses. The you who's tired of the fight, who's ready for rest, who's aching for a love that doesn't waver. Bring your doubts, your fears, your failures, bring it all. He can handle it. He wants it. Because when you give Him your brokenness, He gives you His strength. When you offer your ashes, He trades them for beauty. When you surrender your mourning, He wraps you in joy so deep it feels like dancing. The enemy's still out there, hissing his lies, trying to drown out the truth. He'll tell you your story's over, that the ink's dried on a tale of regret and ruin. But God's got a different pen, and He's not done writing. He takes the pages you'd rather tear out, the ones stained with tears and crossed out hopes, and turns them into something breathtaking. The prodigal doesn't just come home, he's welcomed with a robe and a ring. The outcast isn't just found, she's given a seat at the table. The broken don't just mend, they shine. Your life's not a dead end, it's a turning point. That moment you thought defined you. It's just a comma, not a period. God's weaving a narrative bigger than you can see, one where every fall sets the stage for a rise, every wound becomes a testament to healing. You're not too far gone, not while He's still holding the thread. And He is. He's never let go, not for a second, not even when you couldn't feel Him. So breathe, friend. Let the night wrap around you like a promise. You're not beyond His reach. You're not too shattered to be mended. You're not too lost to be found. God's love is relentless, it chases you through the dark, lights up the shadows, and calls you by name. And tonight, it's pulling you close, whispering that your story's far from over. Don't rush off just yet, don't scroll past this moment. Let it sink in, let it settle. The wind's still singing outside, the moonlight still holding you in its glow. God's here, and He's got something for you, a blessing, a peace, a hope that's yours if you'll take it. Watch to the end, soak in every word, and see what He does with this night. And if this is hitting home, if it's stirring your heart or lighting up something you thought was gone, leave a comment below. Share your story, your struggle, your spark of faith. Subscribe to the channel for more of this, more reminders that you're not alone, more nudges toward the God who's never stopped loving you. Your comeback's in motion, and I'd hate for you to miss it. The night deepens now, doesn't it? The moonlight softens into a glow that feels almost holy, pooling in the corners of your room like liquid silver. The wind has settled into a sigh, a faint murmur threading through the trees, as if the world itself is holding its breath for you. This stillness, it's a canvas, a sacred space where the noise of the day can't reach. And in this quiet, something shifts. The heaviness in your chest doesn't vanish, but it softens, like a knot slowly untying itself. You're still here, still awake, still wrestling with the ache, but there's a whisper beneath it all, isn't there? A voice calling you out of the shadows, urging you to listen. That you've been running on empty for so long, haven't you? Pouring yourself out until there's nothing left, patching the cracks with borrowed strength. You've told yourself you're fine, kept moving, kept smiling, kept the plate spinning. But the truth catches up in moments like this, when the world falls silent and the mask falls off. Your soul is parched, thirsting for something deeper than the shallow wells you've been drinking from. Not the quick fixes, not the hollow comforts, but a water that quenches the dry places, a love that fills the hollows and doesn't run dry, and that love? It's here. It's been here all along, waiting for you to stop long enough to feel it. God's not a distant figure, watching from the sidelines with a clipboard and a frown. He's a father leaning close, a friend sitting near, a healer kneeling beside you in the dust. He sees the places you've tried to hide, the wounds you've bandaged with pride, the fears you've locked away, the dreams you've buried under layers of doubt. He sees it all, and he doesn't turn away. He reaches in, gentle but sure, and says, "Let me carry this. Let me heal this. Let me make this new." Imagine a river cutting through a desert, clear and cool, winding through the cracked earth, bringing life where there was only barrenness. That's what God's grace does. It flows into the wastelands of your heart, the places you've written off as dead, and stirs them awake. You might think your scars are too deep, your wounds too old, your pain too tangled to unravel. But he's not daunted by the mess. He's the one who spoke light into darkness, who called order out of chaos, who breathed life into dust. If he can do that with the universe, what makes you think he can't do it with you? Your healing doesn't come with a catch. It's not a transaction, fix this, earn that, prove yourself first. It's a gift, poured out from a heart that delights in you. Picture this, a physician tending to a battered soul, his hands steady and kind, stitching up the tears with threads of mercy. He doesn't rush, doesn't scold, doesn't demand you explain how you got here. He just works, quietly, patiently, turning the raw edges into something whole. That's God with you. He takes the fragments, the guilt you've clung to, the shame you've worn, the grief you've carried, and weaves them into a story of redemption, and it's not just about fixing what's broken. It's about making you new. Not a patched-up version of who you were, but a you that's stronger, deeper, more alive. The cracks don't disappear, they become part of the design, like veins of gold running through stone, testifying to where you've been and what he's done. Your pain isn't wasted. Your tears aren't forgotten. They're the raw materials of a miracle, the seeds of a garden only he could grow. But there's more. God doesn't just heal you to leave you standing still. He heals you for a reason, pulls you from the pit for a purpose. You might feel like your life's been a series of wrong turns, like you've wandered too far off the map to matter. But nothing could be further from the truth. You were made on purpose, crafted with intention, set apart for something only you can do. The enemy wants you to believe you're a mistake, a footnote, a failure. God says you're a masterpiece, a vessel, a light. Think about it, the stars don't shine less because they've burned through eons. The ocean doesn't lose its power because it's crashed against the shore 1,000 times. And you? You don't lose your worth because you've fallen, because you've hurt, because you've lost your way. Your struggles aren't a detour, they're part of the path. They've shaped you, refined you, prepared you for what's ahead. God's been in every step, even the ones you took in the dark, weaving a thread of purpose through the chaos. Maybe you don't see it yet. Maybe the road looks foggy, the destination blurred. That's okay. You don't have to have it figured out tonight. All he's asking is that you trust him, trust that he's not done, that he's still writing, that he's got a plan bigger than the pain. You're not a castaway, not a leftover, not a lost cause. You're a chosen one, called by name, held in a love that won't let go. And that purpose? It's unfolding, even now, in the quiet of this night. Let's talk about that love for a minute, because it's not tame. It's not a polite nod or a fleeting pat on the back. It's wild, relentless, a force that storms through every barrier you've built. It's the kind of love that chases you down when you run, that fights for you when you can't fight for yourself, that stays when everyone else walks away. You might feel unworthy of it, most of us do, at some point. You look at your life, your choices, your failures, and think, how could he love this? But that's the thing, his love doesn't hinge on your worthiness. It hinges on his nature that he's not keeping score. He's not tallying your slip-ups or marking your mistakes in red. He's not disappointed in you, he's delighted by you. Not because you've got it all together, but because you're his. He sees the you beneath the rubble, the one he sang into being, the one he's never stopped singing over. And tonight, in this stillness, he's singing again. Can you hear it? A melody woven through the wind, a rhythm pulsing in the moonlight, a song that says, you are enough, not because of what you do, but because of who I am. So let that sink in. Let it wash over you like the tide, pulling away the debris of doubt and fear. You're not too much for him, not your mess, not your pain, not your questions. And you're not too little, not your faith, not your hope, not your flickering light. He loves you as you are, right where you are, and he's not going anywhere. He's here, in the quiet, holding you close, whispering that you're safe. Take a breath, friend. Let it out slow. The night's still here, wrapping you in its embrace, and God's still here, closer than your shadow. You don't have to fix everything tonight. You don't have to solve the ache or silence the doubts. Just rest in this, you are seen. You are known. You are loved. And that's enough for now. That don't scroll past this moment, stay with it. Let these words settle into your bones, let this truth take root. If it's speaking to you, if it's lighting something up inside, drop a comment below, share your heart, your story, your whisper of hope. Subscribe to the channel for more of this, more reminders that you're not alone, more echoes of the God who's holding you tight. Watch to the end, because there's a blessing waiting, a peace he's ready to pour out. Your comeback's alive, and it's beautiful. The night has settled into its deepest hue now, a soft indigo that blankets the world beyond your window. The moonlight, once sharp and silver, has mellowed into a tender shimmer, bathing your room in a glow that feels like a promise. The wind outside has hushed to a murmur, a faint breath weaving through the trees, as if creation itself is leaning in to listen. This is no ordinary quiet, it's a sanctuary, a cradle carved out of the dark, holding you in its gentle sway. And here you are, still awake, still feeling the pulse of your own heart, still wondering if this ache will ever lift. But something's different now, isn't it? The silence doesn't scream anymore, it sings that you've walked a long road to get here, haven't you? Through valleys shadowed by regret, across rivers swollen with tears, up hills steep with questions you couldn't answer. You've carried more than you thought you could, fought battles no one else saw, and stumbled more times than you can count. But look at you, you're still here. Not because you're unbreakable, not because you've mastered the art of holding it together, but because there's a hand that's never let you go. A love that's carried you when your legs gave out, a grace that's caught you when you fell. And tonight, that love is wrapping around you like the night itself, pulling you close, whispering, rest. Close your eyes for a moment, can you feel it? The air in the room seems to shift, growing warmer, softer, like a blanket settling over your shoulders. It's not just the stillness, it's Him. God's presence, steady and sure, filling the space around you. He's not a far-off echo or a faint memory tonight. He's here, closer than the walls, nearer than the breath you're drawing in. And He's not just watching, He's holding you. Arms strong enough to cradle the cosmos, tender enough to wipe away your tears, wrapping you in an embrace that says, you're safe now. You're home. This isn't a love that demands you perform. It's not a peace you have to earn. It's a gift, poured out in the quiet, seeping into every corner of your soul. Feel it, the tension in your shoulders unwinding, the knot in your chest loosening, the weight you've carried slipping away like sand through your fingers. He's taking it all, the guilt that's haunted you, the fear that's chased you, the shame that's kept you small. He's lifting it, piece by piece, and in its place, He's pouring something new, a peace that doesn't flicker, a rest that doesn't fade, a hope that doesn't break. Picture this, you're a child again, curled up in the arms of someone who loves you beyond reason. The world outside can rage, the storms can howl, but in that embrace, nothing can touch you. That's where you are tonight, not because you've climbed some holy ladder, not because you've scrubbed your soul clean, but because He's chosen you. He's pulled you into His lap, pressed you against His heart, and said, this is where you belong. Your scars don't scare Him. Your doubts don't push Him away. He holds you tighter because of them, whispering, I've got you. I've always had you. Listen, do you hear it? The night has a pulse now, a gentle cadence weaving through the stillness. It's the sound of your breath, slow and steady, rising and falling like waves on a shore. But it's more than that, it's the rhythm of the universe, the heartbeat of creation, syncing with your own. The stars overhead, the wind in the trees, the earth turning beneath you, they're all moving in time with this moment, this sacred now where God's love meets your weariness. You're not separate from it. You're part of it, woven into the fabric of His design, held in the dance of His grace. Breathe in, feel the air fill your lungs, cool and clean, washing away the dust of the day. Breathe out, let the last threads of tension drift away, carried off by the night. With every inhale, He's breathing life into you, new strength, new courage, new light. With every exhale, He's drawing out the old, the pain you've clung to, the lies you've believed, the burdens you've shouldered too long. You're not just surviving this night, you're being remade in it, restored by a love that knows no end, and as you breathe, let your heart align with His. Let your pulse find its place in the song He's singing over you, a lullaby older than time, sweeter than any melody you've known. It's a song of belonging, of healing, of home. You're not adrift anymore. You're not forgotten. You're anchored here, in the arms of the one who made you, who sees you, who loves you with a fierceness that defies the dark. The room feels softer now, doesn't it? The edges blur, the shadows fade, and the moonlight wraps you like a cocoon. Your eyelids grow heavy, your thoughts slow, and the ache that kept you awake begins to dissolve. This is what surrender feels like, not a loss, but a letting go into something greater. You're not fighting the night anymore, you're resting in it, cradled in the hands that shaped the stars. And as sleep creeps closer, it's not an escape, it's a gift, a gentle drift into the peace He's prepared for you. Imagine this: you're lying in a field under an endless sky, the grass cool beneath you, the stars winking above. The wind brushes your face, and there's a warmth around you, His arms, strong and sure, holding you close. Your breath slows, matching the rhythm of the world, the rise and fall of the tide, the whisper of the leaves, the pulse of the heavens. You're not just falling asleep, you're falling into Him, into a love that catches you, a grace that keeps you, a rest that renews you. The night fades, the worries slip away, and all that's left is this: you, held, loved, whole. Sleep now, friend. Let the darkness be your blanket, the quiet your lullaby. God's here, and He's not leaving. He's watching over you, singing over you, dreaming over you. Your story's not over, it's just beginning again, fresh and new with the dawn. And as you drift, know this: you're not too broken, not too far, not too lost. You're His, and that's enough. Let sleep take you, deep and sweet, wrapped in the arms of the one who never lets go. Before you close your eyes, don't rush away from this moment. Don't scroll past this night without letting it sink in. You've made it to the end, stay here, feel the blessing God's pouring out. If these words have touched you, if they've stirred something deep, leave a comment below, share your heart, your hope, your whisper of faith. Subscribe to the channel for more of this, more nights of encouragement, more reminders of the God who's holding you tight. Watch to the end, because this is where the blessing lives, where His peace settles in. Your comeback's in motion, and it's beautiful, don't miss it.